Oh, that's loud. That was not what I was going to introduce. That's not what I was going to say first. I just startled myself with maybe the most relaxing music you could possibly. How did I get scared by that? Like music that you could actively fall asleep to. It just was too loud. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today. It's Wednesday. Boy, I had to think about that, didn't I? I'm full of chicken, is what I am. I'm chocked full of chicken and ready to go. I had this idea last week, and I think I know what I want to do in a couple ways. First off, though, no matter what we do, I'm trying to make a better habit. Practicing, of sketching, doing whatever, and one of the things I want to do when we start is just for like a little bit, I'm going to just kind of doodle just to get an idea of some stuff. So while I get one more thing ready, welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm your host, Isaac MCCanary. And that's not what I wanted to, well, it is what I wanted to look up, but Google gave me something completely different. We're doing some drawing. We're doing some totally ordinary drawing. We're going to be drawing something. We're going to be drawing something. Or, I guess, someone, in a certain sense. And really, we're not going to be doing any drawing. I've been feeling very paint-y as of late. I don't know why I've been feeling so paint-y, but we're going to practice a couple things. This nice little canvas I have here. I'm going to fill it up with some tests, and we'll get to what we actually want. The reason why I'm doing that is because I am trying to do a little bit of a better job of actually, like, warming up and practicing certain things. The reason why that's important for this particular piece is that I want to try something. I want to try some stuff that I haven't really done, as well as to try demonstrating some practice that I haven't really demonstrated. I've been kind of getting more in the habit of. And just generally speaking, being able to do some sketches of certain kinds of things helps get me a little bit more in tuned with what I'm going to be doing anyways. You guys are gonna see what I've been cooking. If you want, I'm gonna try to make this just like a running document of everything and anything. Well, probably like this, maybe not. I think I'm just gonna make one test sketch thing per project. This one is just one that I opened because they're like, maybe I'll make it all in one, and so that way you could also see what I've been doing on my own. And I went, that might be a bad idea, actually. Really, what I'm wanting to do, gain a little bit of an understanding of some shapes. The sketching will always be to understand shapes first. That's what I'm going for with that. Because ideally, is anything I do my studies, though now that I'm starting to do this more, I need to pick up a couple more individuals to look up, though I have good I would say inspirations at the moment. They're kind of buck wild, but I need to start looking at some of my looking up some paleo artists is what I need to do. That's really what I need to do. Okay, we have this, right? I want to do. We're going to now add peak fronts, shaggy guys like that. Right? And again, this is just sketching. This is me getting an idea, and I'm using a good old piece of advice that I learned from the man. That's why these sketches, a lot of the focus is filling the page, filling the canvas as much as I can. I'm also trying to do a good job utilizing some of my own knowledge. Really, this is the kind of thing that I'm working with right now. Reason why, because I want to try doing. I want to do. If I have a subject, like a subject in the foreground, that's one thing. But there's something that I've always liked that I want to like kind of get more into, which is paleo environment stuff, and that extends to what I'm going to do today because I'm technically going to be doing something like that for a topic that for a fictional topic. But that's why I'm doing this way. And I'm going to do this first to like get an example of like, this is one way you could do like shapes like this. This is one way shapes like that. Ideally speaking, I kind of want one of these. Pretty much about as close as I can get it. And the idea is I want to make. Now we make our boy. And again, this is just to get an idea of where he would be in the picture. And this is something that I've generally gotten just a little bit better at, I think. And at one point, I feel like I was actually a lot better at that I've kind of come back to now is I was starting to understand painting a little bit better a while ago, I would say. Like I was actually studying painting quite a decent amount. And then I kind of fell off with it. I felt very like intimidated by painting. I don't know why, honestly. Like painting kind of stressed me out a little bit. But since then I've kind of like been trying to focus on building a lot of that back out. And this is just a sketch to get an idea because I want to try doing something with this that I haven't done yet. Doing a little bit of an experiment. A little bit of this is trying to work out a process. This is just to get an idea. Want my boy? Of where we want my boy. All right. So that's like just kind of like shaping it, right? That's like getting an idea of everything. That's like, okay, about that big. This is also just kind of a warm up, which I need. I just need to do stuff like this more to be able to warm up a little bit more and be able to like actually get that kind of stuff started. Kind of like that. I actually like how that goes with the painting. Big day. And I really need to like, what I need to do is I like need to pull up probably like a couple references. For example, like this, I'm directly referencing kind of another artist. Wonder if you can guess who it is. No one could ever guess who it is. You couldn't, I promise. So we could do something like this, right? This is one idea I had. I want I want to like really have this the either something like this or I want something bigger. And this is what I'm working with, okay? This is now I need to practice something else. So this is something I've been doing more kind of showcase like this. This is something I did the other day. I've just been trying to practice more with a lot of the brushes, with a lot of the stuff to try to get a better idea of like how to do things. Like I've been practicing trees. I also tried a couple different things, a couple plants and stuff. Like I'm trying different things. These are actually different from left to right, you have a ginkgo, cycad, cycad. I don't remember what kind of cycad, weird cycad, and glossopteris. Just to try things, and then kind of like a fern bush in the bottom left. Since a lot of my work is paleo art, paleo backgrounds, so I want to be practicing paleo plants. Makes sense to me. So this is because every time I do something, I have to draw a dinosaur. Um, but to kind of like showcase what I've been trying to like learn and trying to kind of conceptualize and internalize and get a better idea of is how to do mountains. And then I was like, well, I want to do mountain, and I want to do mountains. Who's the mountain guy? We all know the mountain guy. We all know the mountain guy. We all know the mountain man. If you don't know the mountain man, I guess you're gonna learn the mountain man today. And part of the reason why I bring it up this way is because I want to start off with a mountain, and I want to try to use this as an opportunity to kind of like practice something that would help my art. It would help me. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's how that works. Sorry, I learned something. One of the things I'm learning, working on this quite a bit. So I'm kind of doing something that I think, ironically speaking, is like a little bit different in a way, in so much that what I'm doing isn't really painting. I'm not using paint. I'm not using a paint emulation. I'm still not really a painting guy. I'm actually using a medium that I'm more familiar with, that I'm more comfortable with, that I do a little bit that I ended up really capturing and enjoying a lot. And that medium is actually chalk pastel. Is chalk pastels. Chalk pastels is something that I've been much more familiar with personally. So I found a nice chalk pastel kind of brush that I've been practicing with a lot, and it's good. It's quite good, I would say. I would argue, and I really enjoy doing it. And I've learned how to do more background stuff, namely mountains. I've learned how to do some more mountains with this, and have kind of like gone through a little bit of a development process as far as like learning how to do certain kinds of things regarding that, but also to like use it to kind of inform a similar sense of building and using similar tools that the mountain man, we all know the mountain man, uses, he employs, and he does. The biggest things I picked up on are how he builds certain kinds of spaces. And that's why it's like I don't feel too like I don't feel like I'm doing anything all that different just because I'm using a different medium, because ideally speaking a lot of that stuff still runs off of the same core principles. The things that are being said and mentioned are actually things that apply to any medium, regardless of what the medium is. Just the medium itself is a little bit different. You always have to keep that in mind. You have to use different parts of that medium. That's what I want to do here, right? And we'll kind of pull this out. Now, I've been learning. You do the same things that he does, and you just start. This is the thing that Fresco actually does pretty well, is that it does a pretty good job of emulating physical media well enough that I would say like a lot of it really does do it justice. Kind of just follow the same kind of principles that work for physical media a lot of times. And this is what I've been up to recently. Is I've just been practicing a little bit more of a painting thing recently. And it's been good. It's been quite good for me actually, I would say. Because a lot of what I've learned is how to do more with just like being able to manipulate a lot more. And you can, it's funny, it's like yeah, it's kind of like the whole thing, right? But like you really can get a lot done very quickly by like working with what any given art gives you rather than like trying to really detail sketch in everything. At least I have. I've learned that. So like I've been kind of learning how to do things this way. And it's not exactly one for one, though I probably could be more one for one if I found more like a painting brush or something, like something that was more like a painter's brush. But I found that this is a way that I've really enjoyed doing mountains and doing backgrounds recently is like this. Then, usually what I do, I have to clean things up. That's how I get my tops. Like so. Like so. Go in. And that's why this is much more reminiscent of chalk. This is much more reminiscent of chalk pastel for me because this is the kind of thing you can do with chalk pastel. Chalk pastel is a little bit more you can be a little bit more squishy with it. You can kind of move it around a little bit easier. And this is what I've been doing, right? And this is just to demonstrate like this is a warm up. This is the kind of mountains I'm going to try to be making. It's funny, so we have this here, right? We go something like that. Come there. Because this is in front, I actually need just enough material to draw it out to the front, kind of like that. Things in the back are usually, not always, but usually darker than things in the front. Kinda like that. Little bit like that. And that's like what I've learned, though, is very much the same kind of idea, though. Like this isn't that much different. It's very much still the same kind of premise. You start by putting your shapes, like your dark shapes, kind of blend it together and get your like base down. Then, usually, this will probably be more this will be if I'm gonna do what I think I'm gonna do, this will be more um snow, icy. I have learned this does a very good job. Might want to white. Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with pure white. But using the actual brush to give it more does work really well. It does kind of work like the spatula. It works like the funny paint spatula. It does. Guys, I've learned. I'm practicing more. I'm practicing painting more a lot, which has been really, really nice and helpful. And then one of the biggest things I've learned is like a lot of it is not putting too much. That helps a lot. Like a lot. Even in this case. Gotta kind of go with the flow of it. It does help. It does help quite a bit. Look at that. It really is that easy, man. He really is a magician. Like, I can't take credit for this. The only thing I can take credit for is I've learned how to do this with a simulated chalk pastel. But actually, the fundamentals, the things that are important, are the exact same. That's so crazy how that works. Magic. Magic. Hey, YouTube. Don't you dare, YouTube. Literally just. Now, before I get too much more into this, this is again just this is an example of what I've learned of how to do mountains. Because there's one more thing to do, well, two more things to do technically, and then that's mountains. That's how quickly you can do mountains. So you get the shape of the mountain dark first. And one of the things that I picked up on pretty relatively quickly that's important. It's like super important is how shadows and highlights are utilized because a lot of the work that's like actually done has everything to do with how things are overlaid. And overlaying is a huge part of what makes a lot of things actually work when it comes to pieces like this. Why are you being so cagey? It's Ross. It's Ross. It's Bob Ross. You see this? You see this? And if you don't know who it is, I guess I told you who it is. Watching him a lot recently. And I mean, like, clearly it shows. Like, the man knows how to paint a good mountain. And knows how to do a good mountain. Knowledgeable. And he works in very, like, specific color ranges. He works in very specific color ranges. He works in very direct color ranges. And you can tell. And a lot of his work is so much less about like, oh, I use this color to add this little detail, and then I switch to another color. He uses pretty much a single color every single time. He just knows how to blend them together very well and utilize the color to make a certain kind of effect. He's all about making effects. I mean, he talks about all the time. You listen to what he says, like he calls his work, he points out a lot that his work is how to generate an effect less than it is to paint a specific thing, which is totally valid. That is an absolutely valid way to do artwork. He just got very fast at it. He got incredibly fast at it. No judgment either. The man got really fast. And again, be like he does this on almost every single video. It's this process for mountains. Darken in the background, switch to he usually starts on the right side. He always usually starts on the right side, which is usually a lighter color. Then he usually goes to the counter shade. The counter shade is usually just the snow. A lot of what he does for the mountains just applies the snow directly to the mountains. I want to do something like that. Make show that there's a shadow. See, I have the advantage. Yes, I will still use the undo button. I think given the way that he talks about art and the way that he does art, I think if he saw digital art, I think he'd be like, "That's really cool." I think Mr. Ross would think that digital art is really, really cool and makes a lot of things even easier. I would be, I personally would be surprised if Mr. Ross would have been like, "Wow, you guys have it easy." Back in my day, I used to have to always work backwards, forwards, because God knows if I'm going to do this piece, I'm going to put everything on its own layer. No, I think he would just think that it's like the coolest thing. Because that would just mean to him, more people would be able to draw, more people would be able to do art, or more people would be able to paint. Where's the monster? Pissed. There's a proof of concept. A lot of times I would say my work, I want to start with a proof of concept of whatever I'm doing, followed by the actual work. That's ideal. Oops, blue. And for me, it's just finally understanding how to like utilize the like natural textures that are being generated to actually get these effects. Want? Actually want. Got that right. Actually want light gray. Wait. Want. Huh? 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 Want. What is here? Pester me. Give me grief. What I want to do is I want just to like add a little bit more texture there. This way to be. Ideally, just want it to be a little bit more. And that's a big thing I've learned is like so much of it is just building out more shapes and stuff. but in a way that like actually flushes certain things out. You're telling me you're not going to use this? Nope. It's the other thing. This is the warm up. Not going to use it. Your art, throw your art away. Sometimes your work is just making sure that you are in the right kind of space. Sometimes. These are mountains. These are the mountains I've been doing a lot of recently. I've been doing a lot more mountains like this. I really enjoyed it, honestly. That. Chunk out of that. That. Kind of like that. I just want to be able to pick up enough. I just want to pick up enough medium that this brings this forward a little bit. Just a little bit. There you go. See, mountains are just that easy. I'm not done. I'm not done. He's right. Right about it just being kind of like calming and relaxing to be able to do this kind of thing. Then blend out the bottom. Kind of blend out the bottom. Now you might be asking yourself, you weren't going to use this. Why did you put so much effort into it? Next time, do it a little bit faster. This kind of thing gets you doing it kind of like this allows me to get that warm up I need, as well as gets me a good idea of where I want to take a piece. Bite into it. What I want is I want a mountain that's I want a jaggedy mountain. I'm gonna want a jaggedy mountain. What this does for me helps me get them jaggedy. It kind of brit you. Make it some kind of brit you. Something like that. Mountains are just that easy. Really just that easy. Oop. And that's what you got to do. And then I've also been just trying to do more of the way that one diffuses like a sky. So I'll start with something like this. And it really works just the exact same way. You start, except in my kind of case, what I do is like, I do the equivalent of squirting media directly on the canvas. So ideally, I'll start from like a corner. That, right? Just gonna get in some media. Thing over here. Same thing. Then I go to the kind of like the 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 smoothing tool, the whatever the smudge tool. And it really is just back and forth. Honestly, I probably added a little bit too much, but that's fine. Blue. Put in some blue. Then I just use it like it was a dry brush, just blending it in. Really is the same. Really is the exact same. Add a little bit more and blend it. It's crazy. It's the exact same stuff. Exact same way that he does it. Art's easy. Art's easy, and Bob Ross wants you to know that it's always been easy. It has been. It has been. That's just an example. That's just an example of how one could do something like this. I have the power of. I have the power of. I have the power of Alt Control Delete. So hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. Believe it or not, this isn't what we're working with. This is not what we're working with. We did that 47 minutes. Not that bad. Believe it or not, that's not what we're working on. That's not what we're working on. So, now that I've shown you how it's done, you guys can stop watching. Now that I've shown you how it's done, you guys can stop watching. No, it's really hard. But I want to start with. Actually, I do want to distinctly. I want to start with a dark. I was using like a dark gray blue. That's gonna be for the subject. And I usually use, go. Not charcoal. Dry medium, I believe. I use the soft chalk. It's funny is they do have a soft pastel. I don't like it as much. I actually like the soft chalk better. Something about it feels also a little bit more like how at least That's how... Oh boy, am I gonna have one of these? I swore I was using SL Square. That's what I was using. Let's find out. Everybody, we're gonna go on an adventure. What brush am I using in this one? Should have mix. Oh, was it charcoal pencil? Might have been oh, it is charcoal pencil. Right. This. I was using that. That's what I was using. And then I set the brush, or I set it to the same. And what that does now is essentially I have made the Bob Ross equivalent being able to blend with the same tool that I'm using to apply medium. What he does a lot. He blends a lot with the brush, which I always think of like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it has something to do with just how I internalized a lot of artwork, like doing a lot of art. I don't know what it was. I don't know why. But for a long time, I think I just saw a lot of like pieces, a lot of mediums as just a way to apply. Saw it as a way to apply. And a paintbrush was just a way to apply paint. The only way to apply paint is by dipping it in paint, putting paint on the canvas. That's the way that I saw a lot of artwork. Saw a lot of art medium that way. Which, not right. Not the right way to think. Hello, sir. What do you want? Tina, wait, why? What? Wants attention, but he won't tell me why. Won't tell me. Invader. Are you gonna stay? Actually stay, buddy. I like this thing I've done where I said I was going to do something and then I did something completely different. I don't know what I need to start with. Do what works. Do what works. Do what works. Sometimes you do what works. I think I want these to have a little bit less medium because they're farther away. These ones are going to have more. They're closer. Kind of shelf look. And the idea is I just want to start with these mountains. These are the mountains that I'm starting with. I might also need to study. I might also need to like look up some like ranges, look up some mountain ranges in the future to get a better idea of like what kind of shapes they are. That's how things actually work. That's how things actually work. What's funny is I might need a slightly bigger brush, a little bit more medium. While I am going to be using the undo button, the goal is not to make the perfect strokes necessarily, just being a little bit more forgiving anyways. A man would probably say, "Way to be a little for." He probably would. He would say something like that. He would. You know it. You know it. I know it. Man was an eternal force of good and goodness. Good and goodness. And again, a lot of what. Ah, I didn't work for. I didn't work forwards, guys. So I have to. Sorry, Bob. No. Again, he probably would be ecstatic to know that, like, it's easier if you make a mess up like that, where you don't have to. Part of his whole thing is that he worked in a specific order because he had to. He didn't have a choice. Mr. Ross didn't have a choice. He had to work back to front because it's easier to lay things on top than it is to pull something out from behind. Like it's just it's harder. And like for anybody out there who watches his work and is like, "Why does he just draw over his work?" Because in a certain sense, what he is concerned with is making sure that what he's laid down is foundational and like good from what you can like see and tell. But like ideally speaking, he only needs to put down what you're going to see anyways, and once he gets to the foreground, he can focus on that and not worry about the things behind it. Because the more that you have to try to like go back, draw over something in the background, it don't work so good. But because we have the hours of modern technology, we don't have to do that. I'm sure he would be like, wow, really good to know that don't have to do that. In before he's like, he'd be like, so hard. Because Bob Ross is famously known for being like, boy, you have to work hard too. Nah, nah, you wouldn't. I know it. We all know it. You'd probably be very happy to know that it's easier to do painting. Don't have to work as hard at it. Okay. Want these lines. Make sure they're as defined as possible. That way, I start doing stuff, they're in the way that they are, and then anything else that I'm going to change is going to change after. Oop. Now this, I was using a different eraser. I was using rubber. I was using the rubber eraser. That way to do stuff like that. We're not going to do that yet. Now I'm just focused. Kind of doing that thing. All being pulled the same direction. I'll actually double check. It does feel like that's a little bit different. I might have been using a different blur. Let me check settings I had for this. Show me your secrets. Not showing me your secrets. Oh, it was soft chalk. Okay, what's funny is that soft chalk. I was using soft chalk for the blur and using charcoal for the medium. That's the irony. This and this. Honestly, soft pastel might be good. Try soft pastel first. Yeah, something like that. I'm actually just trying to pay attention to how the brush actually does a blend. Crazy. It's crazy. It really is. Pretty magical. That's fun. That's a fun effect I found that I didn't know I could do. Sometimes you just learn crazy stuff. Didn't know it was possible. Tried it. And you kind of blend it together. Okay. Oh, look at that. Not that easy, folks. Ooh. Ooh, could make mountains just like this. The funny Afro man teach you how to make He's not funny. Well, he is funny. He's kind of funny. He tells jokes every now. I've noticed. It's really relaxing, honestly. Kinda like that. Again, I want these to kind of like peak up a little bit. I want it to like pull out some of that medium up past it. I will admit, kind of trying to use the stylus like a paintbrush helps and is difficult quite a bit, actually. Oops. Hey, pull it out. Much like the man would say. And yes, this is the actual set. This is actually what we're working on today. This right here is what we're actually going to be doing today. I promise. It's really hard to actually switch it to the end like a paintbrush. It's just so foreign to me. I'm not used to holding the stylus like that. It does help with certain things, though. I do it more. Just soften some of those a little bit. Mainly, make sure that this is nice shape. Fit in there. A bit of bump there. Get a peek here. And a really big one here. Right? Something like that. That gets us shapes. Gets us what we need. Now I need to go. Draw this out a little bit more. Switch to the eraser. And mainly I just want to be defining the outline, mainly. had a really good one there. I can't hold it down. Gotta pick up. Gotta pick up eventually. You just keep holding down, you'll just get into everything, and that's no good either. That's so cool. That's so fun and cool. It really works really well. Look at how good that looks. I like that. Infected my brain. He's infected my brain. He's in there now. I can't get him out. He keeps on giving positive outlooks and stuff. A Ross. Everybody have a Ross. Go find yourself a Ross. Bobathy Ross. That looks really cool, actually. That looks really, really cool. I like the way that looks, because I want to go... I want it to be very reminiscent of the dad. Yeah. Wow, that worked really, really well. That worked really well. I like that. And behind. Nice sky blue. Starting from the corners. Starting thickest at the corners. Seems to go the other way. So this is something I'm also trying to paint, right? The angle is 22. Go the opposite way. This is actually something I used to do more. I remembered picking up on this technique back in college where I would rotate the medium brush that I was using. I don't know why I stopped doing that. I mainly stopped doing it probably just out of an embarrassing amount of negligence. We're gonna call it what it was, an embarrassing amount of negligence. I just didn't want to. It was too much work. It was too much work to just switch it. I don't know why. I was gonna try. Add some clouds. Add some little clouds. About where clouds would be. Not good with clouds. Clouds is one of those things that I actually struggle with still quite a bit. I struggle quite a bit with clouds. Clouds are tough. Clouds are tough. Clouds are difficult. I think part of it, what makes them so difficult is that I find that clouds are very temperamental sometimes. I find that clouds are pretty temperamental sometimes. Can't even say why necessarily. Just feel like they're very, very, very specific. You want to get them to like go up. Kind of getting it. Oh, but I'm starting to see them because that's the thing is like a lot of times clouds are just something in the sky is like built around. I can work with that, especially with this. I have to look up a Bob Ross painting. Ah, shit. I have to look up a Bob Ross painting. I need to look at his clouds. See, that's what I thought. Interesting. Okay, so this is important to know. Note. Actually, yeah, I need more blue overall. Need to do. Still need blue back here. Then we go back, and I'm gonna start diffusing it. Wait. No. Just need to start diffusing it. Need to be. This is something I need to stop. I need to just be a little bit more patient. Use a little bit more control in my arm and my hand. If I use a little bit more control in my arm and my hand, I actually put things where I want them to go. I like that. Kind of like that. Then, want to use darker. It's that kind of like. Same idea. Really, I just need to focus on adding the medium a bit at a time. Not add more than I need. I need to shrink this a little bit. Might be a little bit too big, actually. Clouds are hard. Clouds are scary. Clouds are scary. Clouds are very scary. Clouds can be very scary, anyways. I find clouds to be a little bit intimidating. And why shouldn't I? Look at them. Look at them. Maybe using wrong blue. Just trying to. This gives the impression that they're. Yeah. Clouds are tough, man. Clouds are tough. Clouds are tough. I'm noticing. Clouds are very, very tough. They're no joke. I'm gonna diffuse it out that way. Make this a little bit bigger. Try to see. Try to see what he does. That's interesting. So actually, still the same idea. Doing this right. I am doing this right. I need to go back through. Eventually. Yeah. You gotta use darker color. Oops, not that dark color though. This will create a little bit of depth. So like the darker one. Cloud there, put a cloud there, put a cloud here. This color first. Out. I blend it out. Yeah, I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to understand how to do clouds now. I'm starting to understand how these pillowy little bastards work. Okay, I'm starting to get it. Then, start with your darks. I like that. And you want... Oh, outside. That's crazy. That's nuts how that works. And this will work differently because now I'm adding white medium. And since this is white medium, it will blend differently than if it was just on a black background or a black canvas. It's crazy. Huh. Huh. That's how that works. Okay, I think I understand now. So first off, okay, I understand now. I understand what I was doing wrong. Also a really big cloud. I've made one really big cloud. So, start dark. He starts dark first. Pushing up from behind. Idea is that I want to be find my dark medium behind first. That way it builds up the cloud. Yes, yes, I understand. I understand now. Building up the cloud from behind first. Okay, alright. Building up the cloud from behind. Right. So I got my clouds, right? Clouds kind of like that. Start blending it up. Blending the bottom of the cloud first. And I like that. Sometimes you just gotta start trying it to understand what the heck is going on. Sometimes you just gotta start trying to figure out how it works. Now, granted, I probably should have done a little bit of a cloud sketch, seeing as I didn't know how to do clouds very well. Clouds are difficult. They're very, very hard to do. I think after today, I'm gonna be... By damn, I might just be good at doing clouds finally. But then take white. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was missing. Yeah, that's what I was missing. What are clouds but mountains in the sky? That's really cool, though. That genuinely is magic. to me. That's coming from me. I understand now if I want to make a good old cumulonimbus. Okay. I get it. I get it now. Get it now. Huh. It's that easy for me. I don't even know. Painting's not even that hard. Guys. It's not even that difficult. Look at how easy painting is. Famously, painting the easiest. I mean, I'm sure I've said it here before, but there's a lovely message people have left on many of the Mr. Ross's things that he doesn't he doesn't paint to show how good he is at painting. He paints to show how good you are at painting because he does. He does a good job of explaining what a lot of his process is. That's so cool. This is genuinely the best clouds I've ever done. I have no idea. Now we're just gonna blend that down. That's cool. Blend the clouds down a little bit. That's okay. I begin to understand. And then what I'm gonna do, pull that down, kind of like that. Then I liked that effect I got where I had the blue kind of popping through at parts of this. So that back in there. I'll break up the edge. That's so cool. I don't, guys, I don't even understand how it works. Sometimes it just works that way. Add a little bit of blue here. I'll break up the clouds a little bit. That that is really cool. That is genuinely really cool how that worked. Mountains! Made mountains. Mountains are made. Look at these mountains. Beautiful ass mountains. Thank you, Bob Ross, for teaching me how to make such beautiful mountains. I'm gonna try to add a little bit more medium to these. Be very careful though. I don't want it to get too overdone. Gotta go fine. Yes. Kind of like that. That's so cool. I really like how that came out. That came out really good. So carefully. I don't want to blend it out too much. I like how it kind of does that, but I also want to give it a little bit more definition. I want to add just ever so slightly a little bit more material. Build it up a little bit more. Up ever so slightly. I love it. Look at these whimsical ass mountains I've done made. Not something that is just enough that I can erase it. Give it a little bit more. A little bit more of a solid shape is what I'm going for. I want so much that it like overpowers it. That's not what I want at all. Something like that, right? Switch over to the blend. Blend it out a little bit. A little bit. No class. Class. No class. Sir. No class. There you go. What you want? What? Up, up? There you go. The boy's back. Monster's back. I love his incessance to be like, attention! And then he immediately left. What? If not my attention, what did you... Yep. The boy's fickle. Something like this, maybe? I really just want to try to leave much of this as I can. Try to make it like a weird windswept peak. Like I said, more whimsical, much as my rock nerd inside of me wants to make these anatomically correct mountains. I won't. Part of me wants to make anatomically correct mountains. The other part of me is like, I don't even know what that would look like. What do you want? What do you want? That's what you said you were going to draw Monster Hunter. I'm drawing mountains first. I have mountains on the mind. I don't know what to tell you. Who did and did not like that? This, that end, back end, divot. What? Such a needy creature. Oh my, not my card. You're standing on my thing. You were. Oh nope, it wasn't. Try to add shelf. Or it's a cracks and crevices. Something like. Something like that. Them's mountains. Alright. White. Because I made this all weird shape. Maybe a little bit different, probably. We're just gonna start on this one. Pulling out that curve. I like that. You change the back to boy, that's gonna be difficult to do, but I just gotta do enough. Kind of just on the edge there. Just want to be adding like a little bit at a time. Something like that. Kind of give you the idea. These lovely, look at the lovely mountains I made. Like I said, look at these whimsical ass mountains I made. So fun. Something like that, maybe. because of the way that these are shaped, I got you got different paths. They're kind of like. So makes them very jaggedy. Fun. Like jaggedy. Like jaggedy mountains. Need more? Realize this on all brush. There we go. I've done it. I've learned your secrets, Bob. Bob, I've learned your secrets. So I will use them for not evil. I don't know why that happens. If I go too far to the bottom, it just freaks out sometimes. Weird. Let's see. The way that it's wrapping around. I love the way that those mountains came out, though. That looks really, really good. That's so fun. Oh, that's so cool and fun that that worked out that way. One more. And one more. That's so cool, though. That's so cool. It's truly amazing just how it's that it really is just that simple to be like, and then I put it there, and it just works. Just works. Even with a digital medium, it's still the same because the fundamentals. Fundamentals of it. Sensor snow here. Sensor snow here. Sensor patch here. Add a little bit of snow at a time. A bit of snow at a time. Gotta add all your snow at once. That's so neat. That really is genuinely really neat. And he's kind of like I was listening to him earlier, and he makes a point that a lot of it is just going back and forth on light and dark. You're just switching between your two main compositional uh mediums. You overlap your lights, your darks with your lights, and then your lights with your darks, and that's how you get depth. A lot of that creates depth. What ends up happening. That's so cool. Snow! Look at that snowy mountaintop. Look at this snowy mountaintop. It's not already been 2 hours. No way. Those who are being a pill. What? What? Now, to be fair, I do feel like I've been spending a little bit more time on this because this is the actual thing. This is the actual thing. Really didn't expect 2 hours to go by that fast. What are you doing? What? He's chewing on my face. What are you chewing on my face for? What are you chewing on my face for? Sir? Then, opposite side. Then, opposite side. Let me try changing. Go the opposite way. Just gotta let it do its own thing. Is that the right blue? Might actually need to be a little bit darker. Go a little bit darker. That's much more like it. Yeah, yeah. Just let it kind of sit. The opposite side of everything. I think that makes sense. There we go. Try to leave a couple of dark spots there. That way it doesn't just kind of overtake it. Oh, too much. I actually need to this a little bit. Ever so little. That area is getting a little weird. That one. There. That helps a lot. I don't know why. That helps a lot with that. Helps kind of define it, I think, a little bit more. So that way you can actually tell what's going on with it. Yeah. That's really cool. Hey, that's really cool. Hey, this kicks ass. Hey, this is really cool. Really, Bob Ross should have been saying that painting kicks ass. Not the joys of painting, it's the kick ass of painting. Only I can make that the bot time. Twitch would get mad. YouTube probably wouldn't like it. And it's just that easy, guys. Now, if you're Bob Ross, it doesn't take you 2 hours to do this. Because Bob Ross is a machine of joy and happiness. And I would say I still did this pretty fast. I would say I did this pretty quick. That's not bad, though. That's pretty good. Now, that's the mountain background. We're going to start adding some details. First thing we're going to add a friend. We're going to add a friend. This friend, however, is not a tree. He's kind of tree shaped. He's also kind of mountain shaped. He's also kind of large reptile shaped. You need to be dark. It be leg. A little bit finer. Leg. This is fun. This is just fun. This is just a fun drawing, a fun painting I made now. Spines. change now. We're kind of like just building them up and building them in a little bit at a time right now, right? That's the goal. It's just to build them in, just to build them in a little bit at a time. Look at the dad. There he is. Look at the dad. Right there. Just cutting them in. One piece at a time. Just cutting them in. One piece at a time. Really, I just need to make sure that the details I get are things like all of his little spines coming off. Just keep lifting. Just gonna get him in one piece at a time. That's so fun. He's just kind of there. He's just a guy. He's just like a little guy sitting out on top. I love that. Up some of these because he's got some rump spines, kind of like that, right? Need to rotate this to be more like that, I think. Yes, something like that. Just keep building on him a little bit at a time. Maybe go a little bit thicker brush now. Just pull out a little bit at a time. I have to go crazy with it yet. A little bit finer again. That's fun. That's really fun. I was like, I'm gonna do some more stuff like this, whether it is with Monster Hunter specifically or with other pieces like with paleo art. I like this. I always want to do subject, but I want to do more pieces of just like environmental art. That this was a lot of fun to draw and a lot of fun to paint. I'm not a painter. I want to make that. I'm not a painter. Painting is not where I start with anything. Maybe I'm a painter now. We'll see. Maybe this is my wake up call. Maybe this is where I'm like, I'm a painter now. Guys, I'm a painter now. Look at this. You blame me? I'm a painter now. Now what we're gonna do. Go. We're gonna start with lights. Look, he's like a little tree. He's like a little tree. Indahad's kind of like a tree. That came out really good, though, actually. Add some ridges. I want to accidentally blend anything, so I'm not gonna. Just want to keep adding a little bit at a time. That's so good. That's so good. Then, try this. Want white? Oh, what have I been doing my whole life? What have I been doing my whole life? Questions we ask sometimes. That's so cool. That came out so good. Now, erase it right. Got the edges. Look at how good that looks. I'm genuinely surprised how well this came out. I am legitimately excited for how good this came out. There he is. It's just up there. He's just hanging out. Now what do I do with it? Now what do I do with the rest of this piece? Let's see. Now, bigger. Horizontal brush. Hello, Silos. I don't know what happened. He's infected my brain. He's in there now. I can't get him out. This reminds you of the one Japanese tsunami guy. Oh, that's fun. Didn't think about that. Welcome, Silos. This is what I'm on now. I've internalized Bob Ross and I can't get him out of my head. He's in there now. He doesn't leave. Atsushika Hokusai. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm learning. I mean, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong about that, Silos. You're absolutely not wrong about that. Absolutely. Bob Ross is, in a lot of ways, maybe one of the best things, one of the best kinds of people I can have taking up free real estate in my brain. I'm really trying to do number. I should have used a different layer. Fuck. Bob Ross would have wanted this. He really would have. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Bob Ross would be totally fine with people using the tools at hand because his whole thing was using the tools at hand to make art. I think Bob Ross would think that digital painting is like good and cool. Like, I think he would love to know that people are able to do painting in a way that is easier overall for people to do. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I think he would think it's just the neatest thing. I genuinely think he would he would just be like, man, it's just so cool that people computers have computers have gotten so good these days that you know really bring whatever your imagination is to life, whatever that might be. The rest of the internet, I don't have to think or talk about how Bob Ross would actually interact with any other part of the internet ever want to do that. Yeah, agreed. Do something like that. Out. And thank you. It is a very nice painting. I've had a lot of fun actually doing this painting. This painting, super fun to do. Holy crap. I like my little Jin. I like my little Dahad that I added though. He's one of my favorite parts. This guy up here, he's definitely one of my favorite parts. In fact, I'm gonna go in real fast, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be very careful. We're gonna do a little bit of blending, just a little bit, just a little bit. Give him a little bit more cohesion. I'm gonna do like that, just enough to make it a little bit better. I'm gonna take my eraser. I'm gonna just sharpen the edges. You can actually tell what it is. The clouds came out really nice too, honestly. Again, I'm not a painter. I'm not. I am not a painter. Eh, and I got two ways I can do this. I want to do streaks. Can I? And it doesn't quite do what I wanted to, though. Want not necessarily. Not necessarily that either. Find here. Oh my god. Really? Those blend modes work here? God, I don't want to think about that right now. Color dynamics. That mean? What does that mean? So we gotta go thinner. We gotta go thinner. That's also another thing is Bob Ross would have found a way to do this with a single brush. What I'm doing right now. Ah, frick. Ah, fudge. Oops. Gonna go a little bit thicker here. A bit more. Oh, cool. And then probably light, very light gray. Opposite. One at a time. One at a time. Something like that. Blend this out. And thicker. What do you do these days, Isaac? Bob Ross paintings? Oh. When did that happen? About a week ago. That's kind of how my life goes. What have you been up to? No, some wild shit. Oh, when did that happen? Earlier this week. Shit. Oh, I fucked up. Actually, I messed up here. I'm gonna. Nope, that doesn't make sense. Did this the wrong way. We're gonna start with this first because I did this right. That's the actual over. That's the actual hit. I'll have it diffuse this way a little bit. A little snowdrift. A little bit of a snowdrift. That I did it the wrong way. So, keeping that in mind. Oops. Yeah. Like that. Because, what I want to do now. Out that way. What I want that to be the edge of the hill. Oh my god, I'm understanding. I'm getting it. I understand now. Holy shit. I didn't understand before. I definitely understand now. Holy crap. Want could do like something like this. Oops. Like that. Cut into it a little. Something like that. Yeah. It's so crazy. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Just how effective that is. I like my little. I like my big. Wow, that makes that hat actually look really fucking big. Actually, but guys, we're gonna take him ever so slightly. Actually, gonna shrink him a little. He's a little bit too big. He's actually a lit. Perspective says that he shouldn't be that big. We're gonna shrink him ever so slightly. That makes more sense. Like, he's big. He's not small. He's big. He's not that big. This is really fucking big Jin Dahad there that I had for a second. That looks even better. Holy crap. That's so cool. I love that he's just hanging out back there too. Because the thing is, like, this is where my paleo art's gonna come in. Like, my paleo art background and my interest in paleo art is gonna come in. Is Bob Ross didn't really do paleo art. He didn't really do it. Never. He did a lot of backgrounds. He did a lot of backgrounds. He did mountains, forests. If he had a subject, it was like a little shack, which is fine. They're awesome. They're all great. But he never really added he never did live subjects. He never did. At least I have never seen him do a live subject. They're always just mountain, some forest, a lake, snow, whatever. Totally fine. Totally understandable. It's just something I've noticed is that he didn't really do that. And That's something that I want to add to any if I'm gonna do these. Is I want to be able to add a dinosaur, an animal, something to like show the kind of environment that that kind of animal would live in. And this is very much like a kind of taiga forest kind of doing. I'm not ready for that yet. Adding, adding more. Oh, nothing. Nothing. I'm not checking anything. It's fine. That looks so good though. That looks really good. Holy shit. I don't mean to swear. I don't mean to swear in his name, but god damn it, Bob. God damn it, Bob. I love the little Jin. That's such a nice little detail. It's the kind of stuff that I want to add to my work is stuff like that. Actually, we need to go thin. The tools I have. Moment, I don't have the kind of brush he would, so I gotta add these the way that they would look. Correct. So fun though. Thank you, Mr. Ross. Rest in peps. Good boy. You made me a better artist. I'd say that about a lot of things. I'd say that about a lot of things, but you made me a better artist. You really did. He did. I would. This is evidence. What's funny is I was studying his kind of like painting coming out of college. I remember doing that a lot more, and then I just took a break from it. Wow, I don't know why this year is the year that I went. Why did I stop watching Bob? A good question. I have no idea. I couldn't say why. Tell you why. Can tell you. Fucking regret it. Got my mute. Well, I'm so glad I decided to do this today. I did think about doing something different. I was considering doing something different. Um, Not like different in the sense of like actually not art oriented. It was going to be art oriented, and it might be what I do on Wednesdays anyways. That doesn't mean I'm not going to finish this. I am going to finish this. I just will be switching it up probably a little bit soon ish. Um, but for now, definitely want to keep working on this. That's for damn sure. That you accidentally paused the stream. Wow. Wow. Why it was so quiet? Why the picture wasn't doing anything? Break. How is it? Has painting been this easy the whole time? This is what blows my mind. Has painting been this easy the whole time? Why did nobody tell me painting was just this easy? I used to think painting scared me. Painting was scary. I actually thought painting was the most intimidating medium for me. And I will grant, like a lot of this actually, why I'm able to like be like, okay, I understand what's going on now. Is like I have a better and one doing it on digitals, a little bit more freedom and a little bit more of a safety net. But on another hand, like there's a better understanding of like, oh, I just have to understand how to utilize the medium a little bit more reliably is all really all I needed to do. A lot of it is just blending. A lot of what it goes into it is a lot of blending. But it's like really it's much more technique driven blending than even Bob Ross makes it look, I think, sometimes, which no shade on the man. But it really does look like he's just fucking going at the canvas, just doing whatever seems right. And it's like, actually, no, he is doing what seems right because he's doing very specific motions. And he's not being as like harsh with the medium as you might expect. Which is why for a long time it was like difficult for me, is because I saw painting as you put the paint on the canvas. That's how works. That's not how painting works. Turns out, guys, that's not how painting. Uh-huh. Yes, and I am using a drawing tablet. Funny is I actually need one. I don't know why that got pulled up. Why did you try to pull up calculator? More medium. Blended it a little bit more. Mr. Ross was just a master manipulator. But he's the best kind of manipulator. Just knows how to manipulate the medium very, very well. Manipulated everybody into being nicer to each other. And you want to know what? That's a good thing. You know what? That's a great thing. Now I'm just really building up stuff here. That way it actually looks like a forest. Letting medium do all the work. That's another thing, is he lets the medium do a lot of the work for him. Like he knows how to get the medium do what he wants it to do for him. I gotta. God. That work? Is that working? Might actually have to cut in more. Oh yeah, I would have to cut in more. If I wanted to do that, we'll see. I might. Now, we're not going to worry about that. Up. Build them up. Nice and solid. Little bit more. Then I can start to out. That's probably gonna look a lot better. It's better. It's definitely working better. Yeah. Something like that, right? This back. Oh. Okay, yeah. Cut back into there with that. Wondering what that was for a second. That. It's back over. Over. Back into this a little bit more. Cut into it first. Then we'll go with the 4. Second. Yeah, See, because that gives it a little bit more depth. That gives it more depth. That's better. Huh. Crazy how that works. Wouldn't have thought that's how that worked. It's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Something like that. Let it be what it's gonna be. Like that little tuft of grass there actually gives it a little bit more depth. Um, so cool. That's so cool. Just along the ridge of all of these. Ever so slightly, I want to add a bit more. Actually, change direction. Yeah. Painting is wild, man. Painting is absolutely wild. It's a drug. Bob, you didn't warn me that painting was a drug. Bob, you should have warned me. Bob should have warned me that this is like a drug. Damn. Then let's see. I know what I need. Nobody's even gonna know what these are. They're not even wild. Perfect. Make a new layer. That guy's that big. Is just little guys in compare. Well, what's funny is we'll do one close up. No. I want these here. I know what's going to be in the foreground. Don't you worry. These guys are a little bit closer. I want the trees for comparison. Walk them in real fast. Fun is that these guys are not super hard to draw. These guys are not super difficult. Not at all. These are actually kind of a fun monster that I don't think have we seen I don't think we've seen these in a while actually. Lighter brown. These guys are literally just called popos. These guys are literally just called popos. They're great. Then on his face, a little bit of gray. Bit tusks. Help them stand out against the brown. Then we'll kind of mix. As I've learned, I really want to make sure that when I blend in very specific directions. A little bit more there. One of the things I've kind of learned. Blend it out. I'm gonna blend it out like that. Go in. Turn them up a little bit at a time. A bit finer. There. That. It's just that easy, folks. It's just that easy, folks. That's a popo. Kinda. He's in there. You can tell. You're a fan of Monster Hunter, you know what I just drew? Tell him you can tell what a popo is from a distance like that. It got that. A little bit lighter. In fact, well, we'll do this. A little bit lighter. A little bit more detail. And then what do? I just say copy, paste, and we put another one. We flip him. Just like that. Oh, looky. Guys, art's easy. Art is easy. What do you think? Art is art. I mean, I've seen people do copy and paste like that. Like, the only thing I have to really change is now this is on the wrong side. Oops. Is that not the color? Oh, I blended it. See, look, I can't just get out scot-free. I have to actually have to do a little bit of work. Now we go back in. Ever so gently add some. Yeah. Yeah, see? Just so carefully. Two little popos. Two little popos. Two little popos. Out underneath them. A little bit more depth. Need that gray. The gray. Damn it. Not expecting that white to work that well. Then I need that gray. I'll help give him a little bit more depth. This is why you always work forward. Why you mostly work forward. Fast. Drop shadow a little bit. Kinda like that. Yeah! I love that! Look at them! They're adorable! What you love about owls, you never know which direction they're gonna be looking. It's every direction. They can look whatever way they want. They're fucking owls. Now, does that look perspective-wise correct? Yeah, I think so. Because I was imagining if I was to think that there'd be a person there. There was a person in this picture, which would be worth adding. But if there's a person in this picture, he would be about. Oof, too big. He would be about this tall. Had a little guy. be he would be roughly he'd be roughly yay tall, which scale wise looks about right. And Jin, yeah, that would be right about right because if we were to take that same guy, let's say we were to take that same guy there. Say we take him. Whoa, make him really tall. No. Nope. It is such a pain. What's this? Make him bigger for now. Where I want him. We took him, right? Took him. And more like that sized. I might make Jin a little bit smaller, actually. He might still go just a little bit smaller because that's a big man. That's a big person. Like a person would be more like that. That would be a person. This Jin is big. He's not that big. Ever so slightly smaller. And I mean that's the thing. You want to make it so that way scale dictates that like it makes sense, right? It makes sense that he is big enough that you can see him all the way on a mountain way the fuck over there. But he's not the mountains are still bigger than he is. The mountains are still bigger than he is. He a little bit smaller? It? Oh. Wait, no. Oh, I might have clicked. Why is it? That doesn't make sense. Okay. He's more like that big. That would make more sense. Yes. Yes. Because he's big. Jindahad is big. You would be able to see him from that far away. These mountains are very far away though. They are in the background. That's still cool though. I like that effect. I like the way that looks. I love him up there. It's very, very fun. Cute. And then I know what to put in the foreground. I definitely know what I'm gonna put in the foreground. I'm gonna have a guy over here. But that will be for next time. Because I'll still sign it. I'll still sign it. My good old signature. With that there good old signature that I usually do. Damn, I have to say, this was fun. This was really fun to do. I'm really glad I did this. It came out really good. Bob Ross infected my brain. Then, part that's gonna ruin the whole thing. Go up to 20. Hey, if you want to see this without the watermark, obviously watch live. But if you want to see it without the watermark, I've been trying to grow. I've been trying. I've been trying to put things on the Patreon. Been trying to put pieces on the Patreon. I was for a while putting works in progress with and without the watermark, but that was a lot of work, I will admit. So it might just move to finished pieces. We will see. But for now, you want to see if you want to see this without its watermark covering it, both the guy in the top right and my signature, all finished works will be posted to the Patreon, both with and without a watermark, so that way people can see them without a watermark. If you support, all you need is at least a $10 pledge. All pledges over $10 will be able to see all pieces without a watermark. So that way, if you're going to steal my work, you at least had to pay $10 for it. You should make it more. Probably. I don't want to be that stingy about it though. Like really, if people are gonna, if I made money off of somebody stealing my work, then I've made money off of somebody stealing my work. That's what it kind of is to me. I don't care. I don't actually care. Should I care? Probably, but I don't. I think it's a pretty good way to handle that. That's why I've been doing it that way. Ah, fuck. Ah, beans. Listen, you might have infected my brain. I'm sorry, Mr. Ross. He would be mad at me. I do swear probably a little bit too much. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. Judge me. This one could go for what? Sometimes I don't understand. I must have made an artifact somewhere. See, I see that one. Is it that? Is that? Oh, now that's much better. Perfect. Yeah. I might move that other the signature once it's finished, but this is probably exactly where it's going to go. Well, damn. I feel like that came out pretty good. It's not finished, obviously, but it came out pretty good. I'm going to add more to it. Like I said, I'm going to add at least one or two more things. I want this to be like a I want to add I want to make an ecological diagram. That's what I want to make. This is what this is an ecological diagram. So I'm going to add at least 3 more examples of wildlife that would live in this kind of biome. At least 1 predator, 1 herbivore, and at least 1 or 2 pieces of like just smaller life. We'll see. But we've got 1 herbivore, 1 carnivore. We've got Jin in the background. I want at least, and then 2 more, maybe 2 more things in the foreground. I'll put a little rime beetle. I'll probably put like a little rime beetle to give a decomposer. I love ecological diagrams. They're so cool. They're so neat. And I don't know of any ecological diagrams for Monster Hunter. So, at least found something that I don't think anybody has. And it's a Bob Ross painting. That's fun. That's just fun. Yeah. No, that was a lot of fun to make. And I'm gonna look at one. There's some paleo art ecological diagrams I'm really big a fan of that will have like a little box. They'll have like a little box in the bottom right corner, and I'll say the name of all of the animals in the thing, and then there will be a number next to them, and maybe that's a version that I have a version that has just the ecological drawing, one that shows all the like ecological bits of like all the animals that are in it, and then etc. etc. I'll have a version that doesn't have the watermark and does have the watermark. So, but I love ecological diagrams. They're so cool. They're so fun. What's funny is I really thought the joke, the original idea was I was going to quote unquote paint a mountain, big quotes around it, and I would just paint Jin Dahad. But this came out great. This is what it ended up being, and I'm glad it came out this way. This was really fun to draw. It was really fun to draw, and I'm really glad I drew it. Like, it came out good. This looks really good, and I'm really excited to finish it. I'll probably finish it next time. Because I made a lot of progress. Like, this isn't done. This is a lot farther than even I expected to get in a single sitting. Like, this is impressive. I like the little snowdrifts. I'm glad some little rocks. Some little stuff. But, like, expect more of this. Expect more of this, because this came out awesome. This came out awesome. I won't lie. Like, this is one of my favorite pieces I think I've ever done. Ever. Hands down. And it's not even done yet. That's the part that gets me. Is like, this isn't even finished. Damn, this came out good. This was so much fun to do, guys. So, I'm going to start closing out the stream. You know what that means. I'm going to open up Bing Create, which is an image generator. Before the end of the stream, we're going to make an image together. All you got to do is type in chat. Whatever chat says, I'll use it as a reference. I'll put it into Bing Create, and then we'll generate an image, and I'll share it before we rate out. So, summoning, or drawing a symbol in a circle on the ground. Summon Bob Ross. Give you guys a little bit to add to that if you want to add to that. If you want to add to it, you don't have to. You don't have to if you don't wanna. I do love one of the things that I think that came out really good with this, by the way, is the mountains. I think the mountains look great. Like, they are whimsical ass mountains. These mountains are filled with whimsy. I like the way that they formed, because they are formed in such a way that is not like conventionally possible, but feels like they were formed by something, right? Like, they look like they're naturally or unnaturally formed. Like, they don't. That's not like a natural geological um, formation. And there's a lot of stuff like that in Monster Hunter, with like bigger bigger geology than the world shows, to kind of like give an idea that, you know, there's a lot of bigger things in the world. God, this came out good though. God, this looks good. What the fuck? I am genuinely both very happy and beside myself for how good this has come out. Drawing a symbol on the ground. Summon Bob Ross to help me, MCCanary, paint the most whimsical mountains for my fictional ecological diagram. The ecological recreation. Ecological landscape. Drawing a symbol in a circle on the ground. Summon Bob Ross to help me, MCCanary, paint the most whimsical mountains for my fictional ecological landscape. I should have said landscape diagram, fuck! Fucking, how you gonna handle it? This one, Bing? Ah, oh, man. Ah, oh, man. I'm just gonna say they did a good job. So stick around to the very end if you want to see that image. We also do a bit of a closing bit. We do raid after every stream, so that way the vampires in our chat can keep watching. And everybody else out there, make sure to go lock your doors and windows. It's almost lunchtime for vampires. And thank you for joining, everybody. Hope you had a good time and you enjoyed the show. If you're able to join the live show, thank you for stopping by and chatting and watching. If you're watching this in the future, thank you for taking the time to go on back and rewatching the VOD. We appreciate it. If you're out there and you enjoyed this and you want to see more of what we're up to, I recommend scrolling down below and following or clicking any of the links. There's a link to an Instagram, Facebook, a Twitter, and a Discord, and a Bluesky. All the socials. I did the thing. We post when we go live on any one of those platforms, as well as anything else that we're up to, and just generally, you can come hang out with the rest of the community there. It's a good time on the Discord. Speaking of which, a shout out to our community there and everyone who follows. You guys are a wonderful audience, and we appreciate you. If we do anything particularly entertaining or noteworthy, feel free to clip it and share it on the internet. Just make sure also hashtag with MCCanary or link it back to the streams so people can find more of the good stuff we do here. And if you want to see the stream grow, you got to let people know. I appreciate that people have been talking about the stream, and I encourage you guys to do it more. It does help us out. It's just super rad you guys have been willing to do that. I'm just glad we're doing things you guys want to talk about. Go tell people about the stream. Go tell your friends about the stream. I won't. As always, a huge thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon and Twitch. Your generosity allows us to continue to expand the stream, as well as take on more projects. The stream would not be made possible without viewers like you, so we thank you. If you want to see your name added to this list, as well as a couple other benefits you could get, you could always subscribe directly on Twitch or check out the Patreon page here, which will take me a second because I have a boy in my lap and I can't type as easily when he's here. On. That'll show you everything that you can get in any amount. Is always appreciated. Once again, thank you. If you want to see this without its watermark when it's finished, you can also see that there. Thank you to the mods doing a wonderful job holding back the robot army for becoming famous. Thank you just for coming and chilling and watching me paint. I'm a changed one. I've changed. I'm a painter now. I paint now. Don't know when this happened. I paint now. Alright. Go say hi to all of our friends. Goblin Entertainment. Go check our go check out our network. That Linktree has links to everyone's channels and everything that they've done and they've been up to, and the rest of my stuff. Here, if I spelled it right, I didn't. You make this so difficult, my boy. Spelt it right. I didn't add the most important. Feel like a grandpa. Typing with one hand. You can go check out the rest of my stuff there. That has links to everything that I post to and everything that I've done. You should go check everybody out. Goblin Entertainment, and stick around. I'm gonna go say hi to Brad. Mr. Vickers is playing Sulaco, which I actually haven't played. I've been meaning to check it out. It seems right up my alley. The art is really, really good. The gameplay looked fun. So everybody go say hi to him. He's a good guy. He's the original voice actor for the Brad Vickers from PlayStation 1, Resident Evil 3. He's a good dude. So everybody go tell him I'm a painter now. So everybody go say hi to him. Otherwise, have yourselves a good evening. Take it easy. Remember, Bob Ross is probably, bang for buck, the best individual to have invade your consciousness and take over your body. He can't do anything wrong. He can't. And if you can, you're lying. Bing did a good job. Bing did good. Bing did a good job. Bing understood the assignment. They did a pretty good job. Bing did a bang up job. I love that this is like if Bob was casting art. How do we become an art? Am I an art caster yet? How do I become an art caster? I feel like once I become an art caster,